Hey guys, it's Miss Adams. We're still looking at the Unit 9 test review. We're going to start on problem 16 here. We're going to look at a little area. So it says the dimension of a rectangular disc are shown below. We've got the width of 2x plus 1 and a length of 4x minus 5. So let's look here. I've got a width of 2x plus 1, a length of 4x minus 5. And I know that area equals length times width, if Ms. Adams could write. In order to do this, we've got two binomial expressions here, so I'm going to use my box method, where I've got a length of 4x minus 5 and a width of 2x plus 1. So let's multiply these together. 4x times 2x is going to give me 8x squared. 2x times negative 5 is a negative 10x. 4x times 1 is 4x. And 1 times negative 5 is negative 5. Now, it wants us to show all the work. So from here, if you wanted to just combine terms diagonally, I'm fine with that. But if you wanted to write it out as area is equal to 8x squared minus 10x plus 4x minus 5, and then combine like terms to give us an area of 8x squared minus 6x minus 5, I'm fine with either way, as long as you show me that my area is now a trinomial expression. All right, let's go to problem 17, and 17 is broken into just factor by grouping. So first things first, with factor by grouping, we've got to look for a greatest common factor. After we find the greatest common factor, we can then separate these into two groups and factor out the greatest common factor from each group. So I've got x squared minus 3x plus 2x minus 6 in problem A. For this expression, there is no GCF. So I can go ahead and group the first two terms and the last two terms. First two terms have a greatest common factor of x. If I factor that out, that leaves me with x minus 3. The last two terms have a greatest common factor of 2. So if I factor out a positive 2, that also leaves me with x minus 3. And those are the same thing. So my factored version here is x minus 3 multiplied by x plus 2. For B, first thing I got to look for is the greatest common factor. And in this case, if I look at my lowest coefficient, it is a 2. All of these values are even, so they're all divisible by 2. So let's go ahead and factor out that 2. So I know my GCF was 2. That leaves x squared minus 2x plus 9x minus 18. So now I'm going to group these. I've got these have been simplified. I have taken out that greatest common factor of 2. So let's go ahead and factor these by grouping. The greatest common factor between x squared and negative 2x is an x. If I factor out the x, I'm left with x minus 2. Then I've got 9x minus 18, so I'm going to go ahead and factor out that 9. So that leaves me with a positive 9 on the outside, and on the inside I've got x minus 2 again. Those are the same thing. So bring down that initial factor of 2, and I've got x minus 2 and x plus 9 as my factored version of this polynomial expression. All right, let's look at C. C says negative 4x squared plus 12x minus 8x plus 24. Because this has a leading coefficient that is negative, I know I'm going to factor out initially something negative. 4 is my lowest coefficient here. 4 is a factor of all 4 of these terms, so let's factor out a GCF of negative 4. By doing so, I'm left with x squared minus 3x plus 2x minus 6. Now I can factor by grouping. Greatest common factor between x squared and negative 3x is the x. So that leaves me with x multiplied by x minus 3. greatest common factor of 2x and negative 6 is a positive 2, which also leaves me with x minus 3 inside my parentheses. So those are the same thing. And my factored version is negative 4 multiplied by x minus 3 multiplied by x plus 2. All right, guys, in our next video, we're going to start looking at finding the vertex and doing some more manipulations with these quadratic functions.